My name's Wint. I've been serving in South Asia for about 8 years now, and I just want to give some encouragement to your organization from my organization. I actually serve with the International Mission Board, and it's just a great day where kingdom-minded organizations are beginning to work more closely hand in hand. And I just wanted to stop a minute and let you know about some things going on the ground in South Asia that you may not be aware of. One of those is the personnel that you're sending. We've been working out this seconded relationship where we're working hand in hand with your personnel. And if you're not, you'd think that the IMB would be like, the boss of that situation, and it's really absolutely not that way. I could show you messaging threads of report after report where your E3 personnel are actually modeling for our IMB missionaries, getting them out there into trainings, getting them out there in the harvest more quickly. There's a lot more dynamics involved there, but man, it's been a blessing to my heart. Just as an example, the Hanels that are there, they're just blowing up the state of Gujarat. I mean, just reports daily, even the team camaraderie that they're bringing, the attitudes. And so it's just been encouragement. And E3 has a reputation, and I'm not trying to fluff up your feathers. I mean it. You have a stellar reputation among other Great Commission Christians in South Asia and around the world. So first, thank you for the people you're sending. They help keep our personnel there longer. They help cut down on attrition. It works both ways, and I just want to say thank you for that. Second thing is these expeditions, these Luke 10 expeditions that have been going on. I could spend the next hour, but I'll give you about a 60-second clip talking about how wonderful they are. You can ask church planting practitioners around the world, where can you find all 5 parts of the 4 fields, entry, evangelism, discipleship, church formation, and reproducing leaders? Where can you find that modeled in a week period? And there is no other thing that I know of, no other tool, no other thing happening out there anywhere in the world, even among global CPMs, where you can come and see all those parts modeled. We model EV well in a ton of different ways, but we're seeing it well, and particularly your Pastor G that y'all work with in the state of Maharashtra. Man, there's so many things. It's like 5 trainings wrapped in one. It's like a smorgasbord. It's like a Louisiana jambalaya or something. It's really wonderful what's going on. I get so excited when I go out on these expeditions with them because I'm involved with some myself, and it's just wonderful. I mean, it's evangelism to people who've never heard the gospel. That's priority. It's training for the local pastors, like a spurring on for the local pastor. It's an opportunity for him to raise up new leaders in his church. And it's just a blessing for everyone. These translators that are involved are catching fire. Some of the translators that are involved in y'all's teams when they come actually go on to become master builders. And so it's just the most win-win, perfect scenario I could ever dream of. I was just telling Dan before he pushed record on this video, I was telling him that I see 3 phases that have happened really almost globally, where first we just trained everything that moved. Then we said, hey, we got to have an actual evangelism piece. So we'll train and then go out and do some EV, one-off evangelism. And then we said, that's not good enough. And now, really what's been happening with these expeditions is you got it all. You got all this happening at once, and I just want to tell you, it's awesome. Now, I will say this. Every time I have been in the back of a Jeep riding back from an expedition, as we go back to give report each night, I almost every time, sometimes I'll be sitting in the back, and if conversations are going on among nationals, I'll pop my headphones in and have my little missionary moment, and I weep because for every expedition you do, I'm passing a dozen more villages on the way back to the church that have yet to have an expedition, that have yet to have gospel access. So I want to end whatever clip this is, however this is going to be used to encourage you. I want to also encourage you, the harvest is not finished there, but it's a ripe time. I know of only 2 places in South Asia. One's in Bihar, and then one's in Maharashtra, where the receptivity rate is so high. And to know that if 1/3 of the people hear the gospel, they're going to receive it, maybe even 2/3 sometimes. And to know that that's happening and not have enough teams to send breaks my heart. And so I just want to encourage you as you do your part in getting the word out of what's going on in E3 and in the kingdom world in the harvest with Pastor G and his huge network. You're the promoters too. I'm not the only one.
So you would say very clearly that tying in the four fields training, all of that together, and having a push team like an expedition the way E3 does it is really a powerful combination.
It's not a powerful combination. It is the best method I have personally seen. And I used to be the guru in South Asia that kept everyone's training methods in a Dropbox folder, and everyone would come to me and say, "Hey, I want to see what this is." And I see no other. We all talk. But when you think about mauling, model, assist, watch, and launch, or listen, or whatever you use as the L, there is no better mauling method in a short-term trip. I don't know of one. Nothing's going to replace one-on-one relationships, but what better one-on-one relationship than sharing the gospel in a home for an extended period of time? And you're doing so many things. It's not just evangelism. Yes, you're reaching. It would be great alone if you were just reaching 400 gospel presentations in a week to people who've never heard. That'd be enough, but you're not. It's also a pastor training. It's also modeling for new believers how to share. It's also modeling how to get to group formation. Do you know how many people in the country of the United States alone, much less globally, work 3 to 4 years laboring in the harvest, spending thousands and thousands of missionary given dollars to see traction in church formation? I shouldn't say group because I have to pay $5, but in seeing starting churches form. Yeah. I know people who exhaust 3 terms on the field, 9 years, and they don't see it. I know people here that labor, and they talk. Hey, we finally got to church formation, and every team that comes, every American that comes to the field with this Luke 10 expedition is seeing all of that. It's really ridiculous that I feel like a spoiled brat because I'm so used to seeing it. I think I take it for granted of how few people do. So,
yeah, we are blessed people indeed. Wynn, thanks so much for your work in the gospel and the shepherding that you've been doing with Pastor G and in our partnership. And we just pray God's going to really multiply that.
Oh, well, hey, one more thing. The expeditions, they're actually training grounds for new missionaries arriving to the field.
Yeah.
I'll stick my guys in an expedition all day long. And I have people from all over South Asia calling me, wanting to come in and see the expedition, and because they've not seen it all modeled, they haven't seen all 5 parts modeled. And so I've got other GCCs, other Great Commission organizations, and people saying, "Hey, we want to see this." So E3 is not just getting the harvest done, not just doing all these great things. You're actually influencing a lot of other organizations. And just for whatever, I hope that's an encouragement to your heart. It is to mine. And everything that I've seen done by E3 in South Asia so far has been an absolute blessing and catalytic blessing to my work. So thank you.